Good morning, everybody. I hope you're well. Just getting sorted for a Combi Live. It was a bit close to the wire this morning. Trying to get 4 ovens into to 1 ton dish is not the best, so I wouldn't recommend that. But anyway, for what we need this morning, and this thing only turned up last minute, so the Hobart one. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
How are you?
Morning, everybody. I'm good, thank you very much.
You're doing some bread today.
I am very excited to show you all as well.
Hopefully there's no leaks. Yeah, so we've been flat out getting this one working for you. So we've got 4 combis here live for you to come and use whenever you want. It's fine. Let me just tell you a little bit about what the idea is, really, because you've got the price of a small sports car here. Is for you guys to come and independently test them, so you basically can come without any pressure, compare each one. I think we've pretty much got every combi in the UK. There's a few missing, I think, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which one?
Falcon Lenox.
Lenox, I think, is probably the one that you would consider it being another one. But I think Falcon will fetch one down, so probably we'll have 5 when we get going. So they will hate to miss out this.
Let me turn this off.
Go on, keep going, Mike. Sorry, you keep working while I keep talking. So yeah, so we got them all installed, so that's good. So that's the idea, have them here. They've all got slightly quirks as regards installations as well. So they're all slightly different size on the waste pipe, come with different waste kits as well. So I'm going to do a little video about how to install each one and what I think the benefits, some of the benefits and the good bits about each of the packs that they come with, but they're all very slightly different. You're going to need like a 2-inch ton dish for them to go into. All these are 3-phase. They're all on 32 amp 3-phase supplies on commando sockets, so that's what you need for that. Water supplies, depends on where you are. It's a 3/4 inch BSP, just a washing machine tap basically. Some will need softening. Up in the lakes where we are, up in Cumbria, we have uber soft water, so we're okay with that. Some of them don't. Rationale, for instance, don't require softener. They rely on their sort of chemicals to descale the machine, which is really good. I've said enough, Mike. So what you do, it's bread today, isn't it?
It's bread today. It is bread, and we've got plenty of it as well. Plenty to show you.
If I'm going to leave him to get on, because any leaks, I'm disappearing. I'm switching my phone off. So no, but I hope there isn't going to be any leaks. I'm only joking. So really enjoyed your feedback from last time, and the views were amazing. The commentary and the questions everybody was phoning in with upstairs was great. I think everybody really enjoyed it. That we have so many different combis that we can compare the combis with them. So I'm going to let you get on. I've said enough. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
See you later. Right guys, let's get into it. So today we're making bread and we are going to be doing just little bread rolls today, nothing too special. They all are going to be the same size. So these are going to be 100 gram dough balls each. Get it back onto grams. So we've got a small amount here. This might just take me a few minutes. So we did release something on our Instagram page yesterday, was it? And it's got a little QR code, and that's how you would book to come in and have a little test today with us. And that gives us a little bit of time to get everywhere nice and clean for you and get it all organised, so you can just come in and have a good time. So if you do, these are I'm going to prove them for about 25-30 minutes, I think, not too long. But as long as they're all done reasonably at the same time, you should have the same outcome, hopefully, for all 4 ovens. So that should be all right. So if you need any help with, like, so for example, if you're not sure whether you can have 3-phase, single phase, or whether you've even got enough power coming into the building to be able to power a combi oven, then if you've got enough fuses spare for it. If you're ever unsure, just give the office a call. The sales team here will go through it all with you over the phone. Sometimes we ask for images of the fuse boards and the power supplies, water and waste, just so we can see it for ourselves and we can make sure that you've got everything correct in place before we get there. So the transition to getting that rationale in or Electrolux is just as smooth as it can possibly be. Just going to wash my hands dead quick. So as you've seen before, Matthew just finished off installing the combi ovens again. Just in time for the live, thankfully. We had a bit of a close call there, really. So when I'm working with this Hobart today, I have had absolutely zero practice on this at the moment. So it'll be a really good opportunity to see how easy it is to operate or how difficult it is to operate, because it's just going to be me trying for the first time. There's been no practice with this one. A bit like I had to with these two last week. Don't get me wrong, I had them on for a little bit so I understood it, but this one, we just turned it on about 2 minutes before we started the live. So as I was saying last week, you can demo all of these ovens here, but you can also demo them and have reps come out for all of them. So if you're just in particular interested in a particular one, or if you don't want to have to travel all the way to Cumbria just to come and do it, we can try and find somewhere closer to you that maybe has one that you can demo, or we can send a rep from either of the suppliers to site to talk about what you're going to be using it for, and you know, how often is it going to get used, and they can try and make sure that you're getting the correct size for what you need. Because if you're spending upwards of between £4,000 and £10,000 on a combi oven, you want to make sure you're getting the right one, because the last thing you want to do is get it there, realise it's not suitable, and you're stuck with something that's either too big for what you need, or even worse, too small for what you need. Right, so while it's bread proving, if you don't mind, I'm going to go through some of the options on these screens now with you. I'm going to do the Hobart last. So with this one here, we've got lots of little different functions. So you've got steam, can you see that on the camera? Yeah, all good. So you've got steam and convection, and you've just got convection. So these three little symbols on the top, pretty self-explanatory symbols. On here, you have got the amount of steam that's going into the oven. So if you had it on just convection, this would be 0 because you don't have any. But if you're on convection and steam, you can adjust that from, I think it's 30 to 100. So you can add, so if it keeps the moisture in the food that you're cooking. I'm going to be putting a bit of steam on these bread as well, so that's what I'm going to be using it for today. This one up here is just the steam function. So if you're doing vegetables, roast potatoes, or you know, anything that requires steaming, like a bao bun or something, then you've got that option there, and you've also got the amount. So this here is the temperature, little temperature symbol there. You've got a little, you might not be able to see it on the camera because it's not lit up, illuminated, but this is a little, almost like a foam pad with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on there. And then below the temperature, you've got the timer. Now I've got that on continuous at the moment, and you can set a timer and the alarm will go off once you've turned that timer off. And then here we have got the, I can't remember what it's called now, the amount of steam that's going into the oven, right? So that'll control the fans inside of it, I believe. And then this one here is the speed of the fan itself. And I think that's like, this one's to do with like dehumidification, I think, but don't quote me on that. And then you got the fan, and then there's a little star one here, which I'm not 100% sure I know what it does. We're going to move on to the next one. That one is a really basic one, but as I said last week, they do have the Premier S, which is almost identical to these three that we have here. So if you are wanting one with a screen or more options for trainee chefs, or if you're in a production kitchen that needs consistent cooking, you can go for the Premium S. And again, we have them on all the sizes, 6, 10s and 20s. Next one along, we've got the Convotherm. So this screen, I think this one is probably the simplest one to use out of these two. This one's quite straightforward, but this one's especially easy. So we're going to just come out of the cooking mode at the moment. So on this screen here, what you've got, oh, hang on, it's up here, press stop. On this screen here, you can find it all in one place. So it's really, really, really good. So you've got, obviously you've got the same as here, you've got steam, you've got convection and steam, and then you've got convection by itself. And then just below that, you will have the desired temperature that you've got it set at. And that, as I said earlier, it can go from 30 to 300. And then below that, you've got a timer as well. Now this has a continuous function on it as well. So you'd click that and then you would click no on the time. So you just have no time. So the oven will just constantly work. If you wanted a timer, you would just set the timer like that. Dead simple, dead straightforward. And then here, it has got the fan speed. So this fan speed's got 3 fans, 3 levels of speed. Most of these ovens have 5, but I think I said last week, you know, what's the difference between a 3 and a 4 or a 2 and a 3? So this one's just really making it as simple and as easy as possible for people to use. So you can control the speed. This one is the Humidity Pro. So you can adjust how much humidity is going through the oven, and you can change that on a scale of 1 to 3. If you were on convection, it would be crisp and tasty, so that's C and T. Again, you can control the fan, you control how crisp or how the lack of moisture inside of the oven to make things as crispy as possible. And now another interesting one, which is really, really simple to do, and it's all on the same screen as well, which makes it really straightforward, is you can create a recipe or a cook line that you can then do. So for example, I would click that there, and I could say, for example, change that to 160, change the timer to 15 minutes, and then that'll save that one, so I've got it on as crisp as possible. And then you've got the second setting, right? So, oh, hang on, that's not right. So you've got the second setting here, so you can create a second. So say, for example, if you were steaming your roast potatoes off first and then you were roasting them straight after, you could literally just go, you know, you could go on to roast next, and then so your oven would then steam it for the desired amount of time that you've put on there, and then instantly would start roasting it straight after, right? And you can set that on here so it does it automatically. No timer's going off. It's just gonna work. And then you can put obviously a third setting if you required it. Say if you wanted to hold at a certain temperature until service time was ready, so you could drop the temperature down to, I don't know, say 30 degrees, 40 degrees, just to keep it lukewarm for a little bit longer. And then you got a little save button here. So then you can press the save button and then you can name it. So you could name that, for example, roast potatoes. So I'm just going to put roasts in there dead quick. Oh, that's not worked. And then tick. And then it gives you the option to pick a picture so you can identify it a little bit easier. So I see a roast potato one right there, so I'd click that, press tick, and that will now be saved into the combi oven. So if we was to go here, and I think it's press and go, that's the one. No, that's not right. Let's go back. So we've gone now to the recipe page. So we should have one here, which will be under roast potatoes for me. There we go. So if you look on the screen now, there's my recipe that I've saved right there. And that, all I had to do there was just press the picture, it comes up, and I just press play, and then the oven tells me what to do. Now, what I think is really good about this is it's all on one screen, so you don't have to. Obviously, not the recipe's not on one screen, but if you would just say, for example, on this screen, you can put a recipe in just like that. You don't have to funny around too much, but that's most of the sort of little features that are on there. They've got recipes that you can save. They've also got a little USB slot here, just like this one does, over here as well. So you can store recipes, you can put recipes on there, and you can get extra things with these ovens where you can monitor the ovens and add recipes to them for your staff. So if you're in a production kitchen, a hotel that likes consistent results, all the ovens can have the same settings, the same recipes, the same features. Next, we're going to get onto the rationale. I'm just going to set this oven back on my temperature for the bread before I forget. Now, moving on to the rationale. Now, as you may notice, the screens relatively look the same, and they've all got, within reason, a similar looking symbol. So you've got the steam function on the rationale, you've got the steam and the roast, which are convection, sorry, and then you've got convection by itself. And again, you can change the level of steam that's in the oven when you're on convection and steam or just steam. And you can also change the temperature. So we've got all that we can change as and when we need it. You've also got the timer, which is at the bottom, which just says continuous operation at the moment, but you can change that. So if I was to, there we go. So you can change the timer to whatever you might need. Now that's in minutes and seconds at the moment. You can change that to minutes and hours if you needed to, if you were going for a very long time, but that's how you would change the timer on it. Something I forgot to mention on this oven, which is on this oven as well, is they have got core temperature probes in them, which means you can, instead of cooking by time, you can cook by temperature. So you would press the little temperature button here on this one, and then you can set your desired temperature for whatever it is you're cooking, whether it's a beef, whether it's a pork shoulder, whatever it might be, you can change it. And then once the oven or once the machine reaches the desired temperature, the alarm will go off and it will stop cooking for you, and you know when to take it out, which is great for Sunday roasts if you're quite busy, or it's just good just to have consistency as well. So I'm just going to change this one to this. So on the top button up here, you've got a little chef's hat, which has got a huge list of various cooking methods, different items and stuff like that. So you can see here you've got like something that looks like a roast chicken, and then you've got boiling, braising, breaded items, grills, low temperature cooking, etc. And then on the next one along, you've got a steak looking one, so you've got like a grill or a large roast or a meat and a pastry, a blancher or simmer. Next to that, you've got a little fish one, which has various other little cooking methods. You've got one here for sort of baking and eggs and various other little bits. Oh, it's this one, isn't it? Change that. Let me get a little bit of cloth here, because it's just steamed up a little bit. So this has got plenty of options on here as well, for various things that you might need in the kitchen. Now you can go into the individual items themselves. So say if you've got a particular way of you like doing it, you can click on that actual thing there like that. Oh yeah, I need to finish the current application. There we go. So I'd click on, for example, I'd click on large roasts, which will come up nice, easy. And then you've got all these options here. So you've got, this is a temperature probe up here. So this you can do with or without. It's entirely up to you, depending on what you're doing. And then down here, you've got gentle, which is like a slow roast, which will give you more yield. I believe it's about 50% more yield off the meat than it is off the normal. So normal is just classed as a standard roast function, whereas gentle will do it a lot slower over time, but you'll get more out of the actual piece of meat and less meat shrinkage on it. Then below that, you've got the amount of colour that you would like on the meat that you're cooking, or the bread, for example. So you can change it from high all the way down to low. So you can have that sorted there like that. And then next thing you've got down here is you've got the temperature. So they have preset temperatures for you, for medium well, and well done by the looks of things. But you can change that as well. So you would just turn the dial to whatever you required it to be. And then once you've done that, it'll start preheating itself, and it'll give itself, so if you left that now, that'll preheat and it'll tell you when to load the items into the oven, just like that. But we're not going to be doing that today, so I'm going to turn that one off. I'll go back into this one in a minute with the cleaning cycles. So you've got cleaning cycles on these combi ovens. Now, as you can see here, it's got a cleaning status, which is at 92%, which is quite good, and then care status is at 100%. And then you've got multiple cleaning methods on there. So you've got fast, rinse without cleaning, light, medium and strong, which you can basically pick whatever it is you want to do, or depending on how the level of soil that's inside of it. But these ovens are quite clever as well, so they will tell you when they need cleaning and what cleaning cycle to put them on as well. So you don't really need to use your brain with that one too much. Or if you just wanted to put it on a clean without the oven saying so, then you can do it this way as well. And you can look at, this will tell you how dirty it is inside of the oven as well. So it makes it pretty straightforward. I'm just going to get it back onto the bread settings really quickly. Where I was at. There we go. Now next up we've got the Hobart. Now I've not used this before, so this is going to be an interesting one. So I've got the oven on a continuous function at the moment, I believe. So I'm going to try and click out of that and then go back, which will be home. So as I say, this is the first time I'm using this, so I am very, very new to this. So I know some of the functions, and I know some of the little various things that it can do and stuff like that, but actually using the machine, I don't really know it too much. So it has the same sort of functions as every other oven. It's got combi, it's got convection and steam, and it's got convection as well. So you click on cook, and then you can select convection, combi, or steam. And again, you've got the amount of steam going through the oven here, you've got the temperature, and you've also got the timer as well, which can also run on a probe. This oven does have a probe on it, so you can do the same thing with all 4 ovens. So as I said earlier, I've not really used this machine too much. So you've got something called a combi guide. Let's have a little look at that. So this looks to me like various different menu items that you can do. So I don't know how clearly you can see it on the video. So you've got direct cooking, meat, poultry, fish and seafood, vegetables and sides. So, and then you've got a list down here which says grill, air fry, which I like the sound of because everyone loves air fryers these days, pan fry, roast, braise, steam and low temp. So I'm gonna have a little play around with this just to see what it can do. So let's click meat, let's click beef, let's go to roast. So it's let me click 3 things here. So I've done meat, then beef, then roast. Let's see what happens next. So not too sure how to use that one just yet, but I will have a play with it through till the next video. The next video now is not going to be till after Christmas or New Year, because these are only on Thursdays at the moment. So I'm going to have to learn how to play with this one a little bit more. Maybe have a chat with Hobart about it as well. So you've got a function on here which I read up on online earlier on about the Hobart. So you've got a menu mix here, which I believe is like stop the process. Oh, did this before. Preset timers. Right, there you go. So I've done it now. So you've got 1 through to 10, which will be your level of shelf, presumably, that you've got things on. So these ovens also have these features, but I'm just interested to see how this one works. So you've got a timer here by the looks of things. So you've got as long as you might need. Let's click that. And then the next one. Let's go. And I think you can just press start and it'll start going. There you go. So you can set multiple timers at each one, just like all the other combi ovens can do, which is fantastic. But we haven't got anything there at the moment. But that's just a sort of, I'm learning this and showing you at the same time, so I'm just having a little play with it myself just to see if I can get it going. Again, this one has ways of cleaning it as well, presumably here in Combi Care. So looks like you've got 6 different types of cleaning cycles. You've got quick, light, medium, strong. You've got rinsing and you've got descaling. So descaling is quite important when it comes to combi ovens, so it's quite nice to see that on there. So you've got the various things on here. I'm not 100% sure if this one will tell you when it needs cleaning or what it might need. There we go. So we've got a recipe section on here as well. So it looks like you've got a good range: chicken breast, chicken wings, poultry stews, roasts, beef Wellington. So it looks like it's got plenty of options on there. Let's click on one and see what happens. So preheating for beef Wellington. Interesting. Wonder if I can get back out of it. I'm sure there must be a way where you can edit it, but I'm not that savvy on this machine. So I'm going to pop it back onto its normal cycle now for you. Just get it back ready for these breads going in. Start. Fantastic. So this one also has cleaning as well. They all do, every single one of them. Right, let's have a look. Do you want to flick of the page for me, Josh? So sorry I don't know too much about the Hobart. It really was a last minute one for us. I wish I did know more about it because I'm adamant that this thing is going to be absolutely amazing. The price point's a bit more expensive than the Rationale, so I would hope it's really, really good machine. So I'm going to have a play with this over the coming weeks and I'm going to get used to it. I may even give Hobart a call and just try and go through how to use these things properly, and then I can give you a real good demo on how they work. But just right now, you know, when I was doing it there, it's kind of straightforward, but there is still stuff I don't really understand how to do. So unlike, you know, maybe this one and this one, where I thought it was pretty straightforward. I probably would say I'd need a bit of training on one of these just to get the full potential out of it, but that's fine. When you order one, we can always provide training for them as well. I'm sure they'll all come to site. So this one has got a touch screen on and off button, just like the Rational does. So these two are both touch screen. These ones have both got buttons. I prefer the buttons, but that one has also got a touch screen button. So these breads are coming along slowly. It is quite chilly in here, so it does take a little bit longer when it's not as hot in the room. So all of these ovens, including I think the Hobart does a hood for these two. All three of them have vents for the top of them. So for example, if you've got any of these ovens and it's not underneath an extraction, they do produce quite a lot of steam. As you can see, there is steam coming out of some of them. So if you don't have it, you can have a vent over the top, which is great, which just absorbs most of the moisture and grease that comes out of these machines. Or even if you're very on the edge of the canopy where it's just causing a bit of an issue because you just don't want water on the ceiling because it will drip on the floor. These ones as well, I'm not too sure on these three, but you can get something called a condensate breaker on top of a Rational. So if you say if it's not quite under the canopy, but you haven't got a couple of £1,000 to spend on an ultra vent, for example, you can get, so an exhaust will sit in the back of it and it will direct the steam. So if you were on the end over here and it was over here, you could put the pipe so it comes all the way up to the fan, and that'll just take out all the steam for you. So it's just a bit of another option for you if you're a bit tight on space and a bit short on the funds as well. So this Hobart one here, so I think we talked about this last week. This one here has got a 10.1 inch screen. This one's got a 7-inch screen. This one unfortunately doesn't have a screen at the moment. And this one here has got a 10-inch screen, so that's very similar to the same size as the Rational, just slightly smaller, but still very good machine. So you can bring your own food in here. If you want to come and test them and play with them, you can bring your own food in, or if you just want to come in and just have a little play and see how they actually operate in person, that's also fine by us as well. You just need to book it in with us and we'll get it all sorted out for you. These three ovens here also have systems on here for the HACCP control. So I think this one's got a HACCP button, but I'm not 100% sure how to use that HACCP button. But so I assume this one can do it as well with the little pen drive here. So if you're cooking, parfait, chicken liver parfait, or roast beef, roast pork shoulders, lamb shoulders, whatever it might be, it will store all that information for you. So when the AHO comes in, you have got that information to hand and it's all done for you. A lot of HACCP these days is written down. Some people use apps, but most of it is written down, and this just takes some of that sting away from it, really, just to prove that you are, compliant with current EHO regulations, which is great. And you can monitor most of these remotely from like a computer or a smartphone or something like that as well. So you don't necessarily have to have the be in front of the unit. And I believe you can also see like how many times it's been cleaned and stuff like that, and how well it's been maintained. So if your staff aren't cleaning it, you can see that they're not doing it, for example. So we are probably the only place now, I think I said it last week, we're the only place probably in the UK that has 3 completely different branded combi ovens that you can come and test. Now we've got 4, and I'm pretty adamant that no one in the country has 4 of these in their demo kitchens, which is it's a fantastic opportunity. And we're going to be doing quite a few episodes of these on Thursday, so after the new year we're going to be coming back to it again, going to be doing new things, cooking new things, but we're only going to be doing this for maybe a couple of months, and then after them couple of months, maybe, I don't know how long, but until we've sort of proved our points, really, and then they will all be going up for sale, all 4 of them, and they'll be going on at a good discounted rate as well. So if you keep watching the videos, we'll let you know when they're going to go on the website and stuff, and you can save yourself a good amount of money. As you can see, they've all got stands as well, and each stand can cost you anywhere from, so these stands, you're looking in the regions of about $450 to $700 per stand. So these ovens will come with the stands as well, and because we've already got them on the commando socket, you'll likely get the commando socket with it too, which can cost a little bit of money. So there will be a really good opportunity to bag yourself a really, really, really good deal. So I would absolutely keep an eye on this, and once we're finished with what we've got to do, there'll be a good sale going on. So Electrolux has been accredited with inventing the first combi oven, apparently. So that's an interesting one, because I never thought about it much, but I thought the Rational would have done it, but obviously I was very wrong. And something else about these Electroluxes as well, especially if you get for the Premium S, is these can actually you can have 3 units side by side. So you can have a brat pan, which is basically like it's like a huge vat where you can cook stews, chowders, you know, whatever it is you're doing in a thing. And then next to it, you can have a remote blast chiller, which has like a remote condenser unit with it as well. So you can have all three side by side, and all three will talk to each other. So if you had a 20 grid Premium S, you could cook a stew in here, and then you could put it into gastros, stick it on a big trolley, and that trolley would just wheel straight into the blast chiller. And these units all talk to each other as well. So then once you finish blast chilling it, once you want to regenerate it for, say for example, a function in a big hotel, you would pull the trolley out of the blast chiller and then push it straight into the combi oven. So it's just, you know, if you're doing a lot of production cooking, or if you're in a very large hotel that does like a carvery sort of thing, and you've got large amounts of items coming out, it's absolutely perfect for that. And it's a great little setup to have. If you are interested in something like that, give the office a call. We can always go into detail about what it does for you and how you can benefit from it as well. Now Hobart as well, I'm quite glad we got a Hobart in, because I don't think most people know that Hobart make, you know, combi ovens. They had the Bonnet, which was before this one, and I don't think many people have heard of them, but you know, Hobart are a very famous brand. You know, they're a bit of a household brand in main kitchens. The way I said last week about people call combi ovens rationales, well, people call planetary mixers Hobarts, even if they're not a Hobart. That's how common Hobart mixers are, and that's how good they are as well. They are very top-end mixers. You cannot go wrong with a Hobart one. And they also make fantastic dishwashers as well. They do some really nice sort of budget ranges that you can do, like the Eco Max, and they also do the Profi range, for example, which is a really high-end pass-through sort of dishwasher. And they also, believe it or not, Hobart, I believe, invented the first ever food processor back in like 1889 or something like that, I think it was. And they also invented the first ever rack type dishwasher as well, back in, I think it was like 1927 or something, a rack dishwasher. I didn't even know they'd have rack dishwashers back then, but apparently they do. So yeah, that's just a bit of a fun fact for you anyway. So that's I've been trying to do my homework on all the combi ovens. So these look like, we're sort of getting there, like a lamb. Someone wants me to do a leg of, you know what? I love eating lamb. I hate the smell of it. That ammonia smell that comes from lamb knocks me sick, but I absolutely love eating lamb. Do you want to get the page for me, mate? Right. All the ovens are pretty much good to go whenever I'm ready. I'm really just waiting on the waiting on these to prove a little bit more. So I talked about it a bit last week. So these iCombi Pros, Rational also do the iVario range as well, which is a bit like the brat pan that you would get with the Electrolux, but it's more. So you can have one large unit. I think they've got like a 100 litre unit, 150 litre unit, and then they've got a double unit, which is about, I think it's about 30 litres in each one, something like that. But there's a double one. But these iVarios as well, really good for just about anything you might need in the kitchen. So, you know, a combi oven, there's only so much you can do with it. An iVario, or even a, you know, Electrolux brat pan, for example, there's so many options. You can fry a steak, you can fry a piece of fish, you can make a stew, you can even have it as a fryer if you wanted to, and it comes with fryer baskets, so you can use it like that. And they come with a little screen like this, and you could have a Rational iCombi and a Vario right next to it as well if you wanted to. And you could have the same thing that you do with the Electrolux. You could have a 20 quid Rational, and you could have the actual what you call banqueting trolley and a thermal blanket on it if you wanted it, and then you could take stuff out of the Vario if you needed to, stick it in a blast chiller of some resemblance, or even a walk-in fridge if you had to, and then you can just wheel it straight into the 20 quid. So that only works with 20 quids, by the way, not the 10s. I think you can get a trolley for the 10, but it's only small, you don't really need it. Let's have a little look. So the Vario as well can also come with pressure cooking options as well. So if you needed something like if you were doing pork shoulder and a lot of it, or if you needed it quickly, you can have pressure cooking options on the iVario with the iCombi Pro as well. So if you do need that, that's there for you as well. Slowly getting there. For those of you wondering, this is milk. Right, so we are good to go, I think. The only thing I need to do is I need to change this steam here to, give that a couple minutes to catch up. So let's open them all up. Let's go. Oh, my glasses Right. Wait. There we go. And we are in. Just gonna have a quick clean up. What I'm gonna do is leave them cooking. So I'm gonna see how easy it is now to set a timer for all of them. So we're gonna start with the Hobart. Let's start with the one that I don't know how to use yet. So let's go back into that. Let's set a timer here. Oh no, it's not a timer. Set that back to 50 like that. Is that minutes or? Must be minutes, mustn't it? I'm going to set it at 15 minutes. See if that starts working. Yeah, fantastic. This one again, I'm going to set this at. Yeah, we're going to set this one at 15 minutes too. Stop. 15. And then set a timer on this one as well. Is that 15 hours? What? Looks like it should be going, shouldn't it? But I must have done it wrong. Interesting. Anyway, the rest of them all got timers on, so when it goes off, we know that one's ready as well. So with all these combi ovens as well, they are all available. So if you wanted to order one, you can do. Just going to go over if you needed, like, we do install on all of them. So we've never installed a Hobart just yet, but I'm sure our engineers will get some sort of training on it, so we can do it. But I'm sure we can do it anyway, because they are really good at what they do. We are a Rationale service partner, so we can do that for you. We're getting training on the Convotherms, I believe, and we are an approved engineer of the Electrolux as well. So if you did require install on any of them, we can do it for you. Even if you don't require install, you know, we do offer an unpack and position service, because they are quite big and hefty, so they are quite difficult to get into place if you haven't got the right equipment. So we can send either one engineer down, or we can send 2 engineers down. It's all right, because when the timer goes off for these, that'll be ready.
Is it like 14 hours?
Yeah, I know, yeah. But I put it on 15, and then the 15 didn't go down, so I was a bit like...
You said it.
That's because I'm an amateur, guys. I'm an amateur. As I was saying, yeah, so we can offer unpack and position. We can send it with one guy if you've got someone there that can help us get it in, or we can send 2 engineers down, or 2 of our delivery guys down to come and get it into position for you. And if you've got a service partner that you're using, then that's absolutely fine as well. So Hobart have got about 80 service partners for their ovens, which is an exceptionally high amount of service partners to have. So rest assured, if this thing was to break down, you'd get a quick call out on that one, and they're quite good at what they do as well. So if you need an engineer, and so the after sales is something you've always got to take into consideration when you're buying the oven, as well as how much care you're going to get once you've received the unit. So Hobart, I can imagine, would be pretty good because they've got a pretty big name, pretty famous, and 80 service partners. Rationales, I'm not 100% sure on the exact amounts that they've got, but they have got a lot of Rationale service partners up and down the country, so servicing on them is quite easy. These, I believe they've got about 5 or 6 engineers in the UK that can fix them, which they can come out normally. I think it's about 2 to 3 days, but I know 5 doesn't seem like much, but if they can get through 3 or 4, 5, 6 service calls a day, then you know there's still quite a lot. And then Electrolux has 20 engineers, and they've got 14 specifically at the moment that work on combi ovens, so they've got 14 nationwide. So the call out times on these again are quite quick, just like the rest of them really. And they all have really good technical teams as well. Electrolux have a whole team just for technical. So if you had any issues, or if you needed advice on what parts you're going to need, or error codes, anything like that, they've got a fantastic technical team that can absolutely help you all the way through. Well-Built also have a good little technical team as well. So if you needed any information, same thing for that one as well. You could do that too. And then we've got the iCombi Pro again. They have a technical team there as well, which you can call, and we can call for you, or we can give you their number and you can speak to them directly. And Hobart also have them as well. So after sales on all 4 of these ovens are pretty good, and all these ovens are relatively the same in regards to call out times, what they can do. The differences are sort of marginal, but some are more energy efficient than others. So it depends, and people are sort of focused on energy savings these days. So Electroluxes can save you up to 10% on your gas and electric compared to various other combis. So that's really good to have. They have an eco cooking mode as well, which is like a low cooking sort of temperature. Remember I was talking to you about like a gentle roast on here, and it will save you a lot of meat. Your yield will be greater. Same with this. This can save you up to 50% meat loss on the low temperature roasts, which if you're getting say 12 portions out of a top side, imagine adding an extra 6 portions to that. That's just profit right there. You know what I mean? That really is, and that's what it's all about. It's the money they can save you. As I said last week, these aren't just combi ovens; they are an investment, and they do pay off. They do pay for themselves. On the Electrolux, you can save up to 15% on cleaning, self-cleaning on this as well. So in regards to like tablets, water usage, and the power it takes to do it as well. So you have got more savings there. So that's, as I said earlier, they all do that as well. They all have various little energy saving things that they do, which is fantastic. And that's every little helps these days. The restaurant industry is a lot of pubs, a lot of restaurants are struggling to make ends meet, and these things really could be a bit of a lifeline, as it were, a bit of an investment for the future. You want to flippy the screens for me? So the Rationale has about 25% reduction on cooking raw meats, I believe. So again, like I said, with the Electrolux, that's just on like raw cooking roasting, I believe. So 25% is still quite a lot. So 25% to 12 is about 3, isn't it? So three extra portions is your bottom line, your profit again. And if you're on the gentle roast, I can imagine it probably somewhere similar to the Rationale at like 50% savings. These Rationales can also save you on fat consumption as well. So like cooking oils, butter, etc. So it can reduce that by up to 95%, because you don't really need it in this oven when it's on a crisp, on a dry convection. You can save a lot of money on the fat usage as well, and it can save up to 70% compared to traditional convection cooking as well. So if you had a convection oven, this can save you 70% on your energy bills as well, just compared to a convection oven, which is huge. And it reduces wage costs as well with Production Manager as well, so you spend less time checking things, and the oven will tell you when it's ready, so you don't necessarily have to do things. So I think they call it the iProduction Manager, so that can also save you money. You want to flip the page for me, mate? So as I said earlier, all these can be monitored remotely, so from computers, laptops, phones, etc. So that's always a good thing for management as well, just to keep an eye on everybody and what they're doing and how often they're cleaning things. And I said to you last week about, I think Matthew touched on these water softeners as well. Like, we are in a really soft water area, so we wouldn't have water softeners attached to these. But all of these machines do come with the tablets to scale it for you, which is up here. We have got the Hobart ones here this week. These are when I was saying before about the tester packs, they just give you some to start you off, but we do recommend that you buy some with it. So they have got these tablets, so when it's cleaning, this does require 2 tablets of the detergent, and then in here, this is the descaler, and you need one of them to go in there as well. And what I'm going to do over the next sort of few days is I'm going to familiarise myself with Hobart, and probably do a bit on the Electrolux as well, just so I can be a bit more informative for you and give you the best possible advice I can. But my breads look like they're all coming along nicely. Probably need a bit longer than 15 minutes, I reckon. What am I going to do? Oh, blimey. No idea yet. Someone said lamb leg earlier on, didn't you? So, no. I'd love to do a lamb leg, but the price of lamb at the moment is through the roof, and especially with winter, lamb, it's just crazy expensive. It's not that hard to get hold of, but it's just very, very expensive to do. I mean, we could do it, I suppose, but it takes such a long time to cook as well. Like with the top sides, or the silver sides I did last week, I could trim them up a little bit, but lamb legs especially, can't just get away with trimming them up because they are sort of boned and rolled. But I mean, if you guys at home want to see something cooking, or if you want to see me do something, or if you want to test my cooking knowledge on wherever it might be, then feel free to fire away at me. I'll try my best. So all of these ovens, as I was saying, they all have dehumidification in them as well. There's all 4 of them, so it removes the moisture out of the air for you, and you get a crisper, results and a better roast, and they monitor it constantly through the cooking process. And if you've got multiple things in the oven, it also monitors each shelf as well and will adjust that accordingly. So once these 15-minute timers are done, I'm going to turn them all on convection for 5 minutes, and I'm going to get a nice brown on top of the bread as well. So, as I said earlier, some of these ovens, so I believe this one, and the Premium S can do it as well. I'm not sure on this one though, but they have proving on them as well. So if you're in a bakery and you prove a lot of bread, I mean, most people will have bakeries will have a proofer. But if you don't, these ovens will also do it for you as well, which is fantastic. And it's just a good little extra option for you as well. So, and you could probably also set it so it'll prove and then cook it for you as well, which is fantastic. So yeah, just saying there. So you can use the Electrolux blast chiller as a prover if you had the 20 grid Premium S, and they stack inside a trolley again, and you could prove it in one blast chiller, and then you could stick it straight in there and roast. So if you are a bakery looking for a prover, that combination could be really good for you. There's just another option for you as well. So more on this Hobart one as well, because we discussed a lot of these 3 last week, but the Hobart one, they've been manufacturing this now, they've been developing it and stuff like that for the last 2 years. So a lot of work's gone into this, and a lot of thought and a lot of process has gone into it. I really do wish that I knew more about it in regards to how it works on the screen and stuff. But I promise I will have a good play with it, and I will, when we do our next video, I will be fully fluent in Hobart. So, as I say, that Hobart one came out in October 2025, so it's not been out very, very long. It's not on our website at the moment, but it will be, and it will be available to buy. Another thing we like to discuss as well is we also have lease to buy options on these as well, lease to buy. So if you haven't quite got the assets to be able to pay for a $5 grand, a 10 grand oven, or whatever it might be, we have leasing options available too, which is absolutely fantastic. If these things will not only save you money, but as they're cooking, you'll pay it off with the money that they're making for you. So if you are struggling on funds, that is also another option for you, if you needed it. And if you are interested in leasing at all, just give our office a call. Someone in the sales team will be more than happy to go through it all with you over the phone. And our lease team that we use are fantastic and really lovely company to work with as well. So these are, I know this oven can do it. So this oven does something called a super steam, which is between 101 degrees and 130 degrees. So for like intense cooking. I assume it's for like, you know, it'll save, like say if you're doing broccoli, for example, it will keep the colour of that broccoli further because it's steamed it a lot faster. And obviously you just refresh it in some water. And I assume it's there to reduce on loss weight, you know, wastage on loss of weight, and it's also to help keep the colour as well. These breads look like they're coming along nicely. So all of these ovens can go into any type of kitchens you want. It all just varies on the size that you particularly want. So you've got, you know, you could stack all of these as well, which is really good. So if you wanted 2 ovens, and as I said last week, if you have 2 ovens, if one breaks, you've still got one to tie you over, which is just great. And it's just a really good option to have as well. These Hobart ones, they can pretty much go in anywhere you want. Any sort of small business, large hotel production kitchens are just ideal for that as well. There's nowhere that they can't go. If you do want more information on any of these ovens as well, if if it's something you want to know or something you'd like me to tell you, then, you know, leave us a comment or give us a call. Right, so this is the first one done. This is the second one done. Now the way to tell if a piece of bread is done is to flick the bottom. I don't know if my mic will be able to pick this up, but it's really hot. See that sound there? That means the bread's cooked. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and get a little tiny touch of colour on it. I'm going to whack the temperature up to 180. I'm going to stick it on convection. I'm going to stick it on for 5 minutes. Let's go dry. Again, we're going to test this one now as well. Bear in mind, these are absolutely redders. I don't know if my microphone will pick this one up as well, but so that sound there means the bread is cooked. Now we're going to stick it on convection again. We're going to remove the moisture, stick it on 180 for 5 minutes. Bloody no. There we go. Let's go. Right, this one as well. So, I don't know if my microphone will pick this one up, but there you go. That means it's cooked. So that's ready as well. So I'm going to change that to convection 2. Change that to 180. Oh no, I've done it wrong. And then let's go. Don't know if my microphone will pick this one up too, but there we go. So it's what I'm looking for there, for those that don't know, is I am looking for go. Just making sure I've done it right.
Actually, don't know people.
I'm looking for. So all of these ovens, as I said last week, all have options as well that you can stick multiple trays in, that you can do multiple timers on as well, and you can cook multiple things. So I think I've covered most sort of vital information. If you really want like a detailed, a real detailed of all the savings, of all the options, the features, the benefits, etc., like that. We can get a rep in as well, because they know their own product better than I do. and each one of them we can do it for as well, which is absolutely no problems at all for us. There's no effort for us. We're more than happy to do it for you and get you all in touch with the right people to make sure you get the right oven. And then when you're buying these ovens as well, you know, you got to ask yourself the question, you know, why am I buying this oven, you know, and are you buying it because it does this, or because it does this, or are you buying it because of the name that's behind it, or the reputation that it has, or is it a brand that you're familiar with and that you've used for many years? But you ask yourself the question, you know, could I save myself a little bit of money and go for a bit more of an entry-level one, or a mid-range, or a high-end one, or and when I say high, I put my hand there for high-end. Electrolux also do high ends as well, they really do, and they're really good machines. The reason we got this one in was because we wanted something in the mid-range between, you know, between the entry level and the sort of rationale. But in hindsight, we maybe should have got the Premium S, because it is a really good machine, and it would have been a better, you know, better to look at. But it's fine. We can make do with what we've got. I'll just hopefully I sell them well enough for you, because they are very good machines, got great aftercare and everything like that. So, do you want to flip it for me, Josh? Not long now, we're getting that nice little brown on the top. This room's starting to smell really good. So I don't know what I'm thinking about doing next, really. If you guys want to have an input, you can do, but I think next I want to sort of test. I'm not too sure, actually. I'm not too sure. I'm trying to think of something that's really sort of, I don't want to overcomplicate something and do too many different things at once. So it'd be quite hard to keep on top of, especially with 4 ovens going simultaneously. It'll be a really difficult process. But one of my favourite things to do is baking bread. I like making bread, I like baking bread, and I think it's just a really nice, fair test. That way I did it as well, so I also wanted to use the moisture inside of each particular oven as well. To be able to use the combination mode on it as well, just to sort of show you how that works. So we've learned something new today. We've got 7 seconds left on this one. Now, I think last week I was showing you that they all went in the oven at the same time, but when I'm doing 4 trays, they are a few seconds behind, just because I can only go so fast, so it's nothing to sort of go off really. So, there we go. I should have done this in order really. So here we have Hobart, then we've got Rationale, Convotherm, Electrolux. The Electrolux doesn't quite have as much colour as these 2 here, but they are still looking very nice at the moment. And I think they've all worked out reasonably well. So as I was saying before, about install, if you do want us to do these for you, we can do. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's you know, our engineers love doing them and love coming to site and having and installing them as well, and they are really good machines to have in as well. So I think next time we'll probably touch on the cleaning functions on it as well. I'll probably cook something a little bit smaller, maybe it doesn't take as much time, and we'll show you how to get them onto a clean function and how it works, where to put the tablets, where to put the powders, and how it all goes into the machine as well. So we'll probably get into that next time as well. Do you think there's anything else I might have missed? Obviously, as I said, now we're not going to be doing this now until, what will be the next date? Josh, what's the next date coming up? Let's have a look. It will be, unless you want to do it the 1st of January. No. No, we're not doing it on New Year's Day. Yeah, so the next date we'll be back in here will be the 8th of January. So you've got plenty of time over the Christmas period, and I know you'll be thinking about this the whole time. So if you want to pick something, you're more than welcome to. And hopefully we will get them all into a cleaning mode as well. So we've got all the tablets ready to go. We'll put them all in a clean cycle. We'll show you how that works. Because they're all going into 1 ton dish, we might have to get a second one if we're trying to put all 4 on clean at the same time, because we're going to end up flooding the place, aren't we? But But yeah, as I say, if you've got any questions on what I've said, or if you need any more information, if you're interested in leasing, if you're interested in an install, give the office a call. Our guys are more than happy to go ahead and get it sorted out for you. And hopefully we'll see you next time, I guess, won't we? And have a lovely afternoon and have a nice Christmas and New Year as well. Thank you.